I went through this coloring book trying to find a page that sort of spoke to me and be something that I would want to color, yet I could put some memories to it. So after flipping through the pages for a little bit, I settled on this page that has a fireplace and an old chair. And be sure to stick around to the very end of the video for a special surprise you won't want to miss. When I look at this page, it takes me right back to a memory from when I was a kid. A memory of this old abandoned house that was up the road from where we lived. It was a 2-story place that reminded me of a dollhouse, but not the cute, cozy kind. No, this was overgrown with vines snaking up the walls and weeds choking at the yard, like nature was trying to swallow it whole. All of the windows were broken out and it just looked dark and cloudy in there. And the whole thing just loomed of that creepy and quiet, like something was just waiting for you in the corner. And as a young child, I'd stare at it from a distance, half fascinated and half scared, wondering what it had inside. Now one day, the curiosity got the better of us, and my friend and I wanted to go in that house. So my friend's parents took us up there out of their own curiosity, and we all decided to explore it ourselves. And looking back, yeah, we were probably trespassing, but back then it didn't matter and it didn't feel like we were trespassing. It felt like such an adventure. We climbed up the porch, pushed open the door, and stepped right into what looked like a forgotten world. There was that old wood smell and just the old moldy smell. And everything seemed to echo in a way that just sort of made your heart uneasy. But it was so neat to see through those faded rooms. There were pieces of furniture that were still left in the house. I could remember a dresser sitting there, all alone. All the broken windows. And even now, years later, I can still picture being in that house, like I'm walking through it all over again. From looking at this page, I can smell that old house all over again. This fireplace just makes me think of a distinct scent of old wood that hits me almost dry and dusty, like the air's been locked inside those walls for decades, soaking up time. But it's not just the wood, though. I can imagine that fireplace flickering in the drawing, its smoky ghost lingering in the air, mixing with the faint, musty whiff of ancient furniture. It's that kind of smell you only get in places where you're left alone too long, where every chair and table seems to hold on to something from the past. And that just makes my mind wander. I look at this page and think about the furniture in that old house next to us, with a worn out sofa, a rickety looking table, and shelves that are sagging with dust. But can you imagine what the stories would be if they could tell it? Almost secret conversations that they must have overheard, whispered in the dark by people that are long gone. Maybe a family laughing by that fireplace, or someone pacing the floor late at night, spilling their worries to the silence. It's the same feeling I get from this picture. Like every line I color is a little echo of those hidden moments, waiting for me to dream them up. There's something about the wallpaper in this picture that just really pulls me back into the mystery of that old house. I can almost see the wallpaper curling at the edges, like it's trying to escape with secrets of its own. Every torn strip could feel like a clue to some story that we'll never fully know. And that unknown just wraps itself around me, teasing with more curiosity. And then there's the mirror hanging on what I would picture to be a crooked wall. For some reason, mirrors just creep me out, especially late at night. And you know that feeling like if you stared too long, you might see something move in the reflection that shouldn't be there? Well, that's where my mind goes. It's unsettling the way they catch the dark and throw it back at you, silent and watching, where you stand at the threshold and see nothing but blackness stretching out behind you. No matter how hard you squint, it was just an empty void that's staring back at you, whispering that there may be something waiting for you just out of sight. And that mix of the wallpaper and the mirror, it just gives that kind of mystery to me that sort of makes my skin prickle and my mind race. The old teapot and teacups that are sitting on what I would think would be a rotting wood table look like they've been sitting there forever. But there's something about them that feels alive with history. The tiny cracks spider webbing along the edges look like they've been through years of hands and hurried pours. Looking at them, I can almost hear the faint clink of the porcelain, the soft hiss of the steam by the fire, and I'm sure they've got some old stories locked inside them. I imagine them being used over difficult conversations, the kind that unfold late at night in front of a flickering fireplace. Maybe someone poured the tea with shaky hands. The room was heavy with words they didn't want to say, whether it was arguments, confessions, or quiet plans made in whispers. Soaking up every strained laugh or bitten back tear. It's funny how something so small and broken can feel so full of life, like if I listened close enough, I could hear the echoes of those fireside talks spilling out of those chips and cracks. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed my trip down memory lane. And if you would like to see more of this type of video where I color a page and tell a story, please let me know in the comments. And if you're curious whether this house still stands today, well, the answer is yes, and I can still see it barely peeking through the trees when I visit my parents' house. It's still out there, hidden away like a secret nobody's meant to find. It's almost like the world has forgotten it, but it hasn't forgotten itself because it still stands, maybe stubborn and quiet, holding on to all its mysteries. It's still got that dollhouse look to me, but now it's even wilder and creepier, and it's settled into its own strange peace. And looking at these photos, I can still feel that pull, the same one that dragged me up those creaky steps all those years ago.